do have a match before that, Jarek.
Oh,
We are playing Iowa State tomorrow night.
Focus on the weekend.
Bulletin
Kind of
board
a
material
big
right
one,
there.
yeah. Well, first of all, I just want to give a shout out to our amazing fans and crowd, the students as well. Friday night was an absolutely awesome atmosphere. Obviously we've been promoting this tournament just because of, first of all, the big competition and wanting to be able to show those schools what we're all about in terms of our university, our fan sport, and it was amazing. And I think the biggest part of that is we didn't even start our match until a half hour later, and then our match went 2.5 hours. So to be able to have that kind of support was awesome. And then you turn around on Saturday, and we still had really good crowds at 10:30 in the morning, and then after a long day of everything going on that night as well. So thank you very much to all that came out. We had lots of compliments from the teams that came in just about our atmosphere and how our tournament was run. So all the people that were involved in that, and there were many, there's no way I could thank everyone, but everybody in administration and all the people that helped. It was a great weekend for us in terms of that. I also felt it was a great weekend in terms of volleyball competition. I didn't think there was any match that should have disappointed anybody. A lot of great competitive matches. As far as our team goes, I think the match on Friday night was absolutely awesome in terms of the competitiveness and the back and forth battle with Creighton. I think the only maybe disappointing thing in that match was our fifth set start. After being able to take it to the fifth set and then getting down by quite a bit in that fifth set, it was kind of a rally killer a little bit, but I was really proud of our team because we did get ourselves back in a position that we had a chance to possibly win that fifth set, and that takes a lot of character and grit to be able to do that after getting down like that. It did take a lot out of us mentally and physically, I think, but when we schedule this way, we talk a lot about being able to refocus and refuel and be ready for that next competition that came pretty quickly. And then when you look at the USC and Kentucky matches, I thought we did some things very well, and then we have things that obviously we need to work on. And I think the hardest part about a weekend like this is we definitely played better than we did last weekend. There are things that we improved on, but you don't always you're not getting the reward of a win, even though we did play a lot better. And that's, again, part of scheduling this way and a lot of what we talk about. We have to look at the process and what we're actually doing within those matches. Are we getting better? Did we grit it out and fight? Or are we not doing those things? So a lot of positives from the weekend. I think if you look at it in general, we didn't win the serve and pass game against anybody that we played this weekend. Part of that was, I think we went up against 3 of the best serving teams in the country. Usually you have 1, 2, maybe 3 really tough servers on a team. I thought all 3 teams we played had more than that. And then on our side, the service game was probably the thing that, as coaches, we've talked about that we need to get better and stronger. And it is a tough thing to get better and stronger at if you don't have the people that can do that, but it's something we work on daily. We felt like because it was in our place, we should have served tougher and stronger. So that will definitely be an area that we continue to work on and getting better. Carly Taylor made the all-tournament team and just had a lot of workload this weekend. She led our team in kills and digs, had doubles for all 3 matches. She's part of that passing unit, so that's a unit we want to get better and stronger, but it also shows the amount of workload she has. So besides the numbers she has, she's always in the passing pattern as well, which you don't get a lot of numbers for that. But just a lot of workload this weekend, took a lot of swings. So really proud of her effort. And I also want to point out Kate Buswitz. For those of you who were there, when we were struggling passing and not able to get her the ball, we did move her to the pin to try to side out a few times, and she looked like she belonged there. She did a really good job of just taking big swings in not the best situations, and she hasn't been practicing that at all. I know she did it this spring, but has not done any outside hitting at all in practice, and she really stepped up and did a great job. And then I give Rachel a lot of credit. So for those moments that we were struggling passing, I thought she really hung in there. There was a couple rotations that even when we were passing well, we couldn't find a way to side out, but she just really remained patient and did a good job of trying to better the situation. So I thought everyone else had moments of playing really well, and then we always have things that we're working to improve on. I think, like Jarek said, it's going to be extremely hard to be able to improve on a lot in terms of practice. Our improvements are going to have to come from being at match time. We will not do a lot today because of the schedule that we have. We have Iowa State tomorrow, and then we actually have 4 matches this weekend. We play 2 on Friday, 1 on Saturday, and 1 on Sunday. So a huge competition week ahead with all really strong teams, and I won't go through each one of them. But Iowa State obviously is a fun match for us, always competitive. I look at them as far as personnel, a little bit like us in terms of a lot of veterans, but then mixed in with some freshmen as well, which is kind of our makeup of the team. They always have strong pin hitters. Their middle hitter was training all year and competing with the Argentina national team, so is playing at a really high level. And they're always obviously very well coached. So it'll be a fun, competitive match. I know we'll get a lot of people down there in Ames, so we'll see some purple in the stands, so we're looking forward to that. And then obviously Missouri is probably the standout team. They will be in the top 25 poll this week just because of what they've done in the last 2 weeks. But the other 3 teams that we're playing have also done really good things. So it will be a very competitive and full week ahead for us. Any questions?
How special is tomorrow's matchup, not just because of how the in-state series has been, but just with the concentration of Iowa athletes that are usually on each side for it?
Yeah, I think, that's one of the I think we look at this match always as bragging rights for the state of Iowa, and Iowa State and Iowa play. We haven't been able to get Iowa on the schedule for actually quite a long time, but it's just an awesome opportunity just to have that competitive. It's great for the state. It's not just great for our universities, but it's great for the state. It's one of those matches, too, that I think you could have somebody ranked in the top 10 and the other team, not even expected to do well, but it's always going to be a fun, competitive match once you step on the court. I think what will be interesting is we both have some young kids, and to see how they respond in that kind of atmosphere. And, we don't like to make any match bigger than another because it really isn't, but I think sometimes you can't control some of those things. I know this is a match that a lot of our players and a lot of their players definitely have on their calendar at the beginning of the year.
What's it like for your athletes to be in that environment now, playing a second Big 12 team on the road and being in that type of atmosphere?
I think what I'm excited about is I think we really handled that environment well down at Texas. It was a lot of fun seeing how our kids responded to that. I know they'll have an amazing crowd and really be into it, so we get another opportunity to do that. We had great crowds this weekend, and I thought we did well with that part of it. I think it's just a little bit different just because it's Iowa State. It's an interstate rivalry, and I think that brings a few different emotions. A lot of these kids have played against each other or with each other even sometimes, so I think there's a lot of other factors that you try not to dwell on, but they're kids and they're going to think about some of those things.
How do you anticipate or think this team can bounce back after this weekend and playing right away again tomorrow night after a tough weekend?
Yeah, I think, again, it's looking at what this weekend was about. And, again, we didn't have anything in the win column, but there were so many improvements that I know our kids felt and knew we did better. I think the tough part is I know there's a few things that they wish they could have done better. So I think it's more focusing on those things. And again, at the very beginning of the year, we talk about the process, and the way we schedule is high risk, high reward, and it's not always going to be in the win column where you're seeing the winning and seeing the progress and the things that we're doing. Because if we can improve from last weekend to this weekend, every time we step on the court, we're going to feel really good by the end of this journey, and we're going to feel really good about the process that we're going through. So, and I'm not saying we don't want to win, because we definitely do, and that's why we step on the court. But you're not always going to be rewarded with the wins. It's a fine line sometimes between winning and losing. All right, thank you.